Well, good morning, everybody. We've made the hike up the mountain to work this morning, it feels like. Robert's putting the AC switch in the off-road truck. That had gone. That was one of the last things that needed to be fixed in the cab so we can have some air condition. Finally ordered that part now that it's warm outside. I remember to order it, so he's going to try to put that in there. I'm going to take the 220. We're going to go down there to where we stopped. You can see where the smooth drum roller stopped yesterday. Finished cutting the rest of that wetter material out. We're going to haul it up here, see if we can't blade that down a little bit better and kind of get the road crowned up to about the bottom right there. Shouldn't take too terribly long to do that, and then just kind of blade over everything and let it sit the rest of this weekend and just kind of get it prepped for the rain on Monday. So hopefully it won't get too wet. Maybe take Tuesday off, then come back over here Wednesday after it dries a little bit. See what we can do about getting this crossing put in through the creek. So that's the plan for today. So we're getting this material cut out. Just kind of cleaning everything up down the hill. Getting rid of the last of the topsoil strippings that I piled up to the side and undercutting the mud and the wet clay that is on top here still. Thumb just to try to grab the dirt. Digging downhill, it tends to just all pile up in front of you, so you kind of use it to grab the dirt a little bit easier. Keep it in the bucket. And I'll jump on the dozer and we'll try to cut that little knot off the hill and push it down here. May haul a few loads from out back to kind of start filling this in and raise this up a little bit. Really wet. That's a lot of work putting this big culvert pipe in, but I'm hoping since the dirt is literally right there in the hillside, it should go relatively quickly. That's what I planned on. We'll just have to wait and see how well that goes. I was not expecting to have to undercut that much. That was probably, I think that was load number 15. Should be 16 loads right here. There's just so much topsoil and wet material, but I'll let him get one more load. I'll go up there with the dozer. I'm gonna cut that little ridge down, push it down here, and he can load a few more loads of that dry clay, put it in here. We'll get that covered up and kind of even that road up all the way down here. Well, before it rains, we're going to go ahead and carry the pipe down there to the back. That way I don't have to track the excavator back up here on this clean rock when it's all nice and muddy. Go ahead and get it back there for next week when I'm ready to install it. We'll see how well this goes walking it down there. And away we go. It's not going to be fast, but we'll get there. Matters as we get down there, nothing gets broke or run into. Today would be a good day to do this while I had help, because most likely I'm going to have to put this in by myself, which is not the end of the world if it's already down here. How far do you think I can make it to the end before it starts to tip? If I go too far and I can't make it back, you're going to come tumbling down the pipe with me. Now, if you jump off the end of that pipe, I'm going to have a spill. We're going for it. Seesaw. Woo! This is like an optical illusion, and it's like screwing with my head here. All right, now you get out of the pipe. I'm coming. All right, let's put this thing down. Man, that screws with your vision walking through there, those corrugations. Big piece of pipe. So that shows you, well, it's not quite level. Well, that shows you how much elevation change there is on this hillside. All right, let's go sit it over here and get all this rolled in. Away we go. Back this way. There we go. Right there. You leave that on there. 350 coming down the hill. We got the attachments up there. Robert's going to fuel that up, grease everything on that so that it's good to go. Won't have to worry about trying to track it up here in the mud. We'll take the skid steer and run down these edges, fix any of that. We'll take the smooth drum, roll over everything, try to seal it off the best we can. I think that looks good. He's getting this rolled in. I'm gonna go down the hill one more time, grab the motor grader, bring it up here and park it right here at the edge. And we're gonna call it a early Saturday. Been a good week, so might as well leave out a little bit early.
But not so far away.
Jeff said, where can I put the camera that'll be out of the way? He means, where can I put it where it'll be in the way?
That's really what I meant.
Yeah. What are we doing?
We are now to the point where we're going to, we being you, are going to grade for the cabin.
Where the house is going to go. You got it marked out? Jackie come down here and said, I don't like it right there.
Right.
So
yeah,
now we're moving.
I marked it all out, and now it's going to move.
Yep. So we got to slide it down the hill like 25 feet. Not the end of the world. She wanted it farther, but the septic field's right there, so that's not going to work. Looks like you've already planted bushes. Now let me phrase that. You had somebody plant bushes.
Yeah.
And you got your...
Another Chris.
Another Chris?
Yeah.
You got your trees planted.
Yeah.
You got your wireless irrigation.
You like that?
Yep. I liked how you turned it on and off on your phone right there.
You're welcome. See?
And,
now I don't have to come out here and do something.
Pretty much all we have to do is just cut this dirt down just a little bit, level it up a little bit. This is going to actually be a slab. Not going to make it completely flat just because one corner would be buried in the ground, so we'll have to do a little small stem wall over here and backfill the inside.
We being me.
Yeah, one of us.
One of us has got to do that stem wall.
Somebody's got to do it. Yeah, that'll definitely be you. I'll probably be part of the backfill.
Yeah.
And the good thing is the dozer is fixed. $2,000 later, I'm sure. A little sensor. Somehow it was supposed to overnight it Monday. It didn't show up till Friday. I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but it was what it was. And it'd be what it'd be. But yeah, that'll come out, see it's back going. I love this little dozer, but I hate this little dozer at the same time. It is a phenomenal grading dozer, but about every 200 hours, it seems like, since I've owned this thing, it's about a $1,800 to a $2,000 sensor somewhere that pops, and it's all related to the deaf stuff. But I don't know, I'm just kind of scared to remove that stuff. It's not like, you know, nobody's watching me, so that probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. But right now it's running, so. Oh, you ready to go to work?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Just cutting the dirt off this ridge right here. It's actually some pretty decent topsoil, which has been few and far between out here on this site. So I don't want Jeff to complain that I got rid of all this topsoil when he has to pay me to strip all this topsoil off. Oh, gracious. It is kind of strange how much topsoil there is in this section right here versus how little there was on the rest of the farm when we were doing all the other work. Down here, probably just push it over there into a stockpile. That way we can use it for backfill around the foundation once that's done. I'll also look and see if I need any more dirt anywhere else. I can relatively push it there too pretty quickly. Well, that went pretty quickly. I was able to knock that ridge down. Still tapered some, but just can't cut it down too much more because it's gonna put the house corner up there in a hole, and we don't want that. So this corner back here is gonna be a little bit out of the ground, but that won't be too bad. And I went ahead and push that ridge down over there. Just kind of level everything up and stockpile the topsoil so we have something to backfill with once everything is done. Well, we've got some rain, a whole lot more coming. I'm gonna go down here, see if I can't start this brush pile on fire before the big rain gets here. So I made the hike up here, set the pile on fire. It's not blowing exactly the way I thought it was going to blow, the wind that is, but I'm kind of limited on access to the pile since I've got so much bad dirt piled up. So wind should end up blowing in that direction later, which is also fine. So I went ahead and set this on fire right here where I could tend to it. I'm gonna start grabbing some of this dry brush, piling it up, and hopefully get a nice hot spot in it before the rain picks up too bad. 15 minutes later, I think that's going to burn pretty good. Kind of blowing towards that corner where I thought it was going to blow, so I think the equipment's fine. We'll just see what happens. Once it starts raining, I really won't be too worried about it. I just don't want all the embers landing on everything. Unfortunately, there's like absolutely no cell phone service right here, so I can't look at the radar to see when more rain's coming through, but before I walked back here I looked at it and it didn't look like it was going to be long, so let that sit here and burn down some. So the fire's spreading into the pile good. I'm just going to start grabbing some stuff from back here because it's going to take a long time for it to spread over to this far. Can't see. 350 stacked the pile so high. Just try to get some of this stuff transferred up so that it can start burning, and get some of these stumps right here as well tossed up into the pile, because it ended up like a pile of stumps over here on the side. That day I was stacking everything up hoping that they would dry out some more, and it appears they have. Grab 4 or 5 of these, a little bit of brush, just throw that into the fire, let it catch up a little bit, and then stack everything back up. It's getting kind of tall, so I'm going to let that burn down a little bit. I'm already sitting downhill of the fire. And I can come back over here, push it back up, I'll sit over here and watch it burn down for a little bit. I just hate to have to walk a quarter of a mile to get back here. I can't drive, so it's not really practical to leave and then it come pouring down rain. I got to hike all the way back here in the goopy mud. So I'll just hang out, keep an eye on it this afternoon. Well, to my surprise, the fire has actually moved through the pile really nicely. So I'm gonna leave well enough alone and just kind of let that do what it's gonna do. I've got a big pile of stumps right there, but until that burns down, I really can't throw those up there into the pile. So, but pretty much right now, I just need to leave it alone and let it burn down. Then I just kind of keep taking the stuff from the outside edges and throwing it inward. Well, the big rain from the storm has finally made it here. I'm gonna grab all these stumps and throw them up here into the main part of the fire. Just kind of run around the edges, stacking everything up the best that I can. But this stuff is, a lot of it has burnt down. I've been very happy with the progress so far. Pretty much not had to touch too much of it. Because of the way we stacked it up, and luckily the wind changed, pushed it into the fire or into the pile, so that really helped out a lot too, because I couldn't get to any other side of this pile but right here. Just ran out of room. Grab as much of this as I can. Let me shut the door all the way so it's not sitting there rattling. Of course, I'm trying to grab this stuff at the wrong angle, which is not helping, but still doable. This stuff's just packed in here from the 350, which makes it a little difficult to try to pull out with this. And the wind's changing from the storm, which is now pushing all that smoke over top of me, which is not ideal. Not worried about setting anything on fire as it's currently downpouring, but it just puts me in the smoke. Of this stuff piled up as I can, and then I might just leave. Let this do what it's going to do. There's really no need to hang around for another hour and a half and watch it. The majority of it's going to burn down anyways. Machine's steaming from the heat from the fire. It's got the metal warm, and then the cold rain's blowing on it. Alright, I need to move back just a little bit. I'm not exactly crazy about all that blowing on me. Oh, we're sliding. Let's not slide into the hole over here. That wouldn't be good. grab that and throw it in there, and that should put majority of everything in the fire. That's going to be a wrap for this afternoon. I started the fire right at 12 o'clock. It is 4:15 almost, and the majority of the pile is gone. It was all the way out to the brush right there, and all the way out here where the ashes are. I've just kind of kept everything piled up on top of itself, and it was pretty much all the way to the edge of the woods over there. So that's burnt down well. I'll leave that well enough alone. That should, I'd say probably 75% of it should burn down. Give this job a couple days to dry out, and we'll get back over here. We got a couple other little things we need to go take care of while it's too wet to work here. And then I'd like to come back and focus on getting that creek crossing installed. We'll just have to see what the weather does.